Hey everyone, Tony here. Hope you're doing well. It's Friday, January 4th. Happy Friday. Hope you're excited for the weekend. I have some positive news to share with you guys. And of course, this is not financial or investment advice. Now, if you recall, yesterday I shared a photo that was taken by a user who shared it on Twitter of Gemini's ads that are across the New York City. And I personally haven't seen it yet, but the one that was taken yesterday was actually close to where I work in New York. But here's another one that another user saw and posted on Reddit, where it's a very big ad and it's on Wall Street. So money has a future, the ad says. Gemini, the regulated cryptocurrency exchange, and a photo of George Washington here. So kind of showing that they're like a pioneer leading the charge, so to speak. But like I said, guys, and I've been talking about it, for the past several months, and I did a blog post about it on my website, that mass marketing is coming because all of these exchanges, all of these major players like your Fidelity, Bakkt, TD Ameritrade, and so forth, all these folks that are launching services, what do they have to do? Market the business. They have to market their service to drive demand, right? That's a natural part of business. So as I was saying, you can expect to see TV ads, online ads, print, billboards, and things like that. So I want to make sure you guys are aware of this and look at where it's positioned and where it's happening. So obviously New York is a fintech, finance hub, and a lot of big money is here. So the fact that Gemini is doing this is not surprising. I think it's smart. I think they want to get ahead of the curve, and the Winklevoss twins have a lot of money and a lot of Bitcoin. So good sign for the industry overall that this marketing is coming, because guess what? If Gemini is going to do that, who else is their competitors are going to want to market as well? The competitors don't want the Gemini, let's say Coinbase is going to start wanting to marketing Fidelity and so forth. You guys understand that. That's simple logic, simple business practices, right? But this is significant, guys. I mean, look at the huge ad here on Wall Street. So big time. I'm going to try to actually take some time, since I work in Manhattan, and try to see if I find any crypto ads and things like that's happening, and definitely let you guys know, because that shows what's to come. You have to market your business to drive demand, as I said. Now, guys, some very, very big news here. I really want you to pay attention to this, because remember I've been telling you guys, and many other folks have been talking about it as well. There's a lot of over-the-counter OTC purchases that's been happening over the past year. In 2018, despite the bear market with the prices down, big money institutions have been accumulating. And guess what? We have some hardcore real facts here, directly from who? Circle. Who is backing Circle? Goldman Sachs. Who did Circle purchase last year? Poloniex, the exchange. Do you see what is happening here? They published on their official Medium blog post here, their Circle 2018 accomplishments and 2019 themes. They talk about the Poloniex acquisition, as mentioned. And then they go into, all the volume of trading, guys, that took place. Big time. For example, Circle Trade executed, right? Circle Trade continued growth and leadership. More than 10,000 OTC trades with nearly 600 distinct counterparties across 36 different crypto assets, and generated nearly 24 billion in notional volume. $24 billion in volume, guys. Bought over the counter. Now, as you know, over the counter means it is a direct relationship, it's a direct exchange, right? So it's, for example, if I was a millionaire or something, right? Or I ran a hedge fund, I could approach, like a crypto miner. I could go to like Bitmain and say, hey, I want to buy Bitcoin directly from you. And I essentially give them, let's say $1 million, and they transfer the Bitcoin. Now, that is not recorded on the exchanges. However, it is recorded where? On the blockchain, on the ledger, or, for example, XRP. If it's XRP, it's on the XRP ledger, right? So it is not reflected in the exchanges that this amount was purchased and for this amount of money. This is done behind the scenes. That's why we don't see it, right? It's direct. It's like me coming to you and saying, hey, whatever your name is, John Doe, right? Hey, do you have any Bitcoin? Do you have any XRP, Ethereum? Can I buy some from you? And I give you money and you transfer it to me. It is not on the exchange, right? That is essentially what's going on. But of course, a lot of money is being exchanged here because we're talking about institutions. So they said here, Circle Trade has become a core liquidity provider to the entire crypto ecosystem, including miners, exchanges, project developers, and founders, and to new crypto asset investor base of VCs, venture capitalists, crypto funds, hedge funds, and family offices all around the world. Guys, if you don't hear any other news for the year, right? This right here is huge. Look at the amount, 24 billion in volume, guys, and more than 10,000 and 600 distinct counterparties and 36 different crypto assets. So absolutely, this included for sure the top 10 to 20, right? 36 different crypto assets. So your Bitcoins, your Ethereum, XRP, and so forth. And we even heard from Ripple themselves. If you recall, the Q3 report from Ripple, where they said they had a record-setting amount of purchases from institutions of XRP. That includes obviously your banks and so forth, but also those who are looking to invest in, have XRP in their portfolio, guys. So Ripple as a company released that information, and now we're seeing Circle. Man, I didn't know Circle was handling this much, but it makes sense. If they're Goldman Sachs backed, it's going to be easy to use Goldman Sachs framework or existing clientele to get these folks in, guys. So this is major news, and I don't want to read through this whole thing. It's a very lengthy, but I highly recommend you take the time and read through it, guys. It's super important. Here, Cointelegraph, they summarize it. Obviously, the headline: Circle executed 24 billion in OTC trades in 2018. Guys, that is so much money and huge. So just imagine all these big institutions have been filling their bags, and it makes sense, right? Especially like when you hear about Fidelity, TD Ameritrade backed and so forth. Where did they get the crypto from? Right? If they're going to be selling crypto to their clientele and other people, where did they get the crypto from? They had to go to some source of liquidity, right? And it looks like Circle is one of those big market makers. And of course, there's different avenues. You can go to different folks and purchase it over the counter. So this is big time, guys. I mean, huge. So here's some other details. According to Circle, the firm now partners with over 1,000 institutional clients, such as exchanges, token projects, OTC desks, asset managers, and other global endowments. Circle stated, this year, we anticipated further incremental growth in institutional adoption, catalyzed by stablecoin usage, advancements in institutional custody solutions, increasing regulatory clarity, particularly in the United States, and improvements and innovation in core crypto infrastructure. What have we been talking about, guys? We're waiting on regulatory clarity. They mentioned that. It's in the works. So, Goldman Sachs and all these guys are knocking on the politician's door saying, hey, you want campaign donations? You need to pass this stuff. And look what they said, improvements and innovation to the core crypto infrastructure. What have we been talking about? We are in the infrastructure stage. The services are being built out, all the necessary, custody services and things, pathways and road and whatever it is, right? To allow the market to grow and to allow the money to flow in easily, guys. And they said they expect further incremental growth in institutional adoption. Now, and this goes back to also, I know I mentioned Yale and TD Ameritrade, Fidelity and so forth, but remember we heard news about Yale and Harvard and so forth. A lot of these people have been buying, guys, and that's how smart money operates. They buy low, sell high. The bear market, a lot of weak hands stepped out, because they don't understand market cycles. They probably just heard from someone to buy Bitcoin or XRP or Ethereum, and without doing research, and or even maybe many of them are not, savvy with investments and understand market cycles, understanding bear and bull runs and all that good stuff. So, guys, I'm blown away by this news. And like I said, if I don't hear anything else for the rest of the year, this is what I was waiting to see, get clarity on, as far as the volume and the numbers. And we have numbers here. And this is a Goldman Sachs backed company. This is facts. I'm not making this up. I hope you see what is happening here. This is huge, guys. Like I've been saying, making the analogy, we are in 1994, 95 of the internet days, right? Where, a lot, the general mass public don't understand what's going on. It's a, core group of people like you and I who get it, who are lucky enough to understand and get in early. And then the big money is setting up shop, building out services. It is essentially the same thing that's happening here. I'm super excited and bullish off of this news. OTC trading allows investors to carry out trades directly with one another without relying on the services of an intermediary, such as a cryptocurrency exchange. So I hope you guys get that. That is why it doesn't reflect on the prices. Like I said, it's like me coming to you directly and saying, hey, I'll give you $500 for, whatever, 1,000 XRP, right? Whatever the market value is. That's what's happening. And this is big time. And that's why, guys, you remember when I tweeted about this, by the way, so don't forget to follow me on Twitter. That's why I tell you guys to follow Whale Watch. I've shared some stuff just recently Whale Alert. It's whale_alert. What they do, guys, they not only do for Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, but they also do XLM. So they're looking at the blockchains and they're highlighting, hey, there was this huge movement of this crypto, and it's the title of the account, Whale Watch. It's an institution, right? So that is why when we see these movements, sometimes we're like, who the hell is what's going on here, right? Excuse me. And, they usually highlight significant moves with a little siren here. So, for example, 8 hours ago, 5,000 Bitcoin, holy crap, $18,992,086 transferred to an unknown wallet to Coinbase. What do you think is happening here, guys? That's why this information is significant. Like, for example, there's even movements of Ethereum, and we saw just the other day, I reported like 3 billion XRP was moved. So that was a big movement, guys. So this is essentially how you would know if something is moving. Now, we don't have, who sent it and when. Sometimes we do, because for example, a lot of the folks have logged the addresses, but sometimes we have unknown wallets and we don't know who's sending what. But it's happening, guys. It's happening right underneath our noses. And of course, the media and the different things. Oh, Bitcoin is crashed. Is crypto dead? This fudster is saying crypto will not survive. You have what's that guy's name? The economist Noriel, that idiot, going around saying crypto is crap and dead. You see the smoke and mirror show that's happening here, right? So you have to look at the facts. You have to look at the data, because I don't care what anybody says. This is fact. That there's something moved here. We have directly from the company Circle what is happening on their front and the amount that they have traded, and $24 billion, guys, in a bear market. The big players are filling up their bags. I know I'm spending a lot of time on this, but I want to hammer home here what is happening. This is what I've been talking about, and also to just add a bit of details here. When I talk about manipulation, this is part of how manipulation is done too, because guess what? These guys can go buy millions in Bitcoin, Ethereum, XRP, whatever, right? Dump it on the market to cause a sell-off, right? Then they go back and buy in at the lower prices because they obviously get the market rate, right? Directly from whoever they're buying from. and then they'll pump it back up and do what they got to do and do their shorts and all of that good stuff. So this is what I talk about when I say manipulate. It's so easy to do it. If you have money, it is so easy to manipulate this market. But the good thing is, like I said, the market's maturing, and as the big players are getting in, as more money comes in, it's going to stabilize. And as regulations come out too as well, will help the market to grow. It'll kick out a lot of the shady practices. So the future is bright, and man, this is huge. I tweeted about it 2 times today. This is big time. I don't know how many people, recognize how significant this is. We're getting it directly from the horse's mouth. I'm not making something up here, and we're not speculating. We have the facts. They said they're partnered with over 1,000 institutional investors, and all the details are here, guys. Anyway, moving ahead. If crypto was a fad and it wasn't here to stay, why would the American Economic Association hold presentations on crypto and blockchain? It's here to stay. Crypto is a new asset class. Blockchain is a new revolutionary technology, the same way the internet was. The American Economic Association, AEA, will host 4 dedicated presentations of cryptocurrency and blockchain research today, Jan 4th, as part of its ongoing annual meeting. The session, dubbed Blockchain and Tokenomics, will cover 4 academic papers from various sources. It will be hosted by the academic group, the Econometrics Society, and chaired by Lin William Kong, assistant professor of finance at the University of Chicago Booth School of Business. The AEA is a major entity within the sphere of the United States economics and beyond, and publishes well-known journal, the American Economic Review. Look at how far we've come, guys. Crypto and blockchain is on the map. It's on the radar. No one can ignore it now. That's why you have idiots like Noriel. I think Noriel is I don't think he actually believes all the stuff he's saying. I think he's using that to build his brand. And those of you who, he may have blocked me. I don't know. Let me see, because I've been critical of him. But you guys may know him. He's they call him Dr. Doom or whatever. And he just posts negative stuff about crypto all the time, yet ignoring all the negative stuff that's happening with banks and the scams that they're going, like Wells Fargo and JP Morgan are doing, getting fined. So he's been, let's see. Yeah, he retweets all kinds of weird stuff. They call him Dr. Doom. So this guy, that's what I'm saying. Crypto is on the map now. It's on the radar, and even the haters and these guys can't ignore it. And this shows, like I said, I try to make you think bigger, holistically, not just in the moment, but the future of what's being set up here. The fact that these things are being discussed at universities and part of these groups and associations and all that is a major sign, because it's slowly creeping into society and mainstream, right? It's starting. The disruption is starting, so it is definitely a topic that's going to be. We're going to see it start pop up more and more, guys. So, hodl. Now, some positive news out of Chile, and I do like to share news from what's going on around the globe, because remember, countries compete with each other. Some countries set the standard or the bar higher, and then other countries follow. And then crypto is global, so we could see, for example, if a country does something significant to open up the doors for crypto, it can increase the volume coming out of there, which can affect the price. So that's why I like to share these type of news items here. Chile, anti-monopoly court rules to keep crypto exchanges bank accounts open. So this is interesting. The Chilean anti-monopoly court has again granted protection to local cryptocurrency exchanges by forcing banks to keep their accounts open. Financial news outlet Diario Financiero reported January 2nd. According to a recent statement from Buddha.com, one of the crypto exchanges affected by previously upheld banking restrictions, the anti-monopoly court known as Tribunal de Defensa de la Libre Competición, sorry if I mispronounced that, has held a poll and most of its members voted in favor of the crypto firms. This is a big win. So like I said, in Chile, what are the neighboring countries? Brazil, Argentina, whatever it is, right? It sets a standard. And like I said, no one wants to get left behind here because those governments who are at least not authoritarian or crazy, right? They would at least be open to, okay, look, we want to make some money off of this tax revenue and create jobs and all of that. That's why I'm so upset with the U.S. government for not leading the charge here and moving faster. And you guys saw my tweet to Donald Trump and all these guys, and I was asking you guys to retweet that because, man, it's really holding up a lot of things. And it looks like, some of the laws here, anti-laundering, monopoly type stuff here, where the banks or whatever were trying to, or they're trying to shut down the bank accounts or for these exchanges, which would be bad. The court ruled to keep it open. A win, right? So this is definitely good news. Now on to some news about Ethereum. So you guys may know Ethereum hard fork coming up, Constantinople. Nothing you really need to do if you're holding Ethereum. Obviously, I hold Ethereum in my portfolio. But there were some significant updates here. So Ethereum developers give tentative green light to ASIC-blocking code. Members of the Ethereum's open source development community tentatively agreed Friday to implement new algorithm that would block specialized mining hardware or ASICs pending further testing on the proposed code. If accepted by the network of users that run the Ethereum software, the code change dubbed POW, proof of work, would block ASICs, such as those made by major mining firms like Bitmain. In its place, the new software would allow general purpose or GPU hardware, which is typically phased out by ASICs, to compete for rewards on the platform. ASICs were developed for Ethereum as early as April 2018. So let me give you some more details. Speaking on the developer call today, security lead Martin Holtz-Swende said that he prefers the switch as it will help ensure the safety of Ethereum's eventual transition to proof of stake. So essentially, Ethereum, they're looking to move from proof of work to proof of stake, a new system in which users mine the cryptocurrency not by burning electricity, but by setting aside coins they hold. So essentially, in proof of stake, those who are the rich as far as in Ethereum, so to speak, who hold the most amount of Ethereum, will have most of the say or the authority there. So this is a significant hit to proof of work, and we're seeing, with Bitcoin's price down, Bitmain itself took a major hit, having to fire employees, also losing its potential to be listed, I believe, on the Hong Kong Stock Exchange or to go public, do an IPO. So proof of work is taking a hit here, guys, and let's be honest, it is not an ideal system. Bitcoin being the original, we can't say it's crap or whatever, but it's like I always make the analogy. Bitcoin is like Yahoo, and the Bitcoin Maximus hate it when I say this. XRP is like Google. Yahoo's still around, but guess who's the 800-pound gorilla in the room, guys? It's Google, who owns the majority market share, who's making billions, who's doing major things, right? So, let's see what happens here. There's also, talks of people who are against this move, where they're saying that now it makes Ethereum more centralized. Oh, isn't that ironic? The people who are going around saying XRP is centralized. Look at what's happening here. And time will tell, guys. Time will tell. But we've gone through the facts showing, proof of work is centralized, especially when you have a like, for example, a whole bunch a group of Chinese miners who are controlling over 51% of the hash rate. What do you think that is? They can they have control. And then you also see that people, an example of that was the Bitcoin Cash infighting with Craig Wright, the idiot, and Roger Ver, the douche. We saw they were taking hash rate from Bitcoin and like using it for, trying to fight the battle between the two Bitcoin cash versions. So I don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but I'm about facts, guys. I'm not about ideology here. If it works, it's a superior product, and its pros outweighs its cons, and it makes sense economically and all that good stuff. I'm for it, and I've said it before. If Bitcoin had XRP's technical superiority, being fast, cheap to use, scalable, a lot of transactions per second, then I would be all behind Bitcoin. And don't get me wrong, I hold Bitcoin in my portfolio because I believe it's the original. It's going to be used because its utility has poor utility. It is going to be used as a store of value, and it's not going anywhere because it's the original, right? It's kind of like the foundation where if it were to die, the whole crypto market might collapse, if you get what I'm saying. We haven't matured to a point yet where, Bitcoin, something happens to Bitcoin that it will still continue. We're very much in the infancy stages of the market. So also a quick note that the Constantinople update, let's see, it will reduce the Ether mining reward from 3 Ethereum to 2 per block. So that's a drop. Miners will not be rewarded as much, obviously. They're going to lose 1 Ethereum. So let's see what happens. I'm bullish on Ethereum. I've said that in the past. Because of once again my feelings, but rather the things that I've read about and facts. Like Blockchains LLC will be leveraging Ethereum. I've seen Ethereum being used by governments for example. It was, I believe I shared the news with you guys, with an auction, and then one was a smart contract loan. So there's some big things planned for the Ethereum network, guys. And even though the upgrades and updates and all that have been slowed down, taking forever, just from what I've seen with companies committing to launching, leveraging the platform, and even Amazon, as I stated, Amazon is going to allow you to build your own blockchain, and one of the options is to use the Ethereum framework. Amazon, it's on their website. You guys recall I shared that news with you. So like I said, I believe there'll be multiple winners coming out of this market, but facts are the facts. Adoption is adoption, right? So I am bullish on Ethereum, and I have it in my portfolio. So, but like I said, I'm most bullish on XRP because of its use case and utility. So all about facts, guys. Now, Ledger, many of you have the Ledger Nano S. I do, multiple ones where I store my crypto, and you guys know about the proof of keys movement. But if you've been a follower of this channel, I've told you guys in the past, like, don't keep your stuff on the exchange. Don't keep your crypto there. There's some wallets that don't support all crypto. So, sometimes you do have to leave one or two coins on there, or, because you're not able to store it anywhere. So, but as soon as, you have the support for it, you definitely want to get it off there. They said, you asked, we listen. More applications on a single device coming soon, January 7th, 2019. So they got some big updates coming up, and they have a countdown here. So let's see what they got. I think maybe it's some sort of upgrade here, guys. And I love their last update where they created the interface, the desktop software app, which is great. The dashboard, it allows you to see all your cryptos and your value of your cryptos. So they're making some big moves, and you guys have seen my interview with, I think it was Colin is his name, when I was at World CryptoCon. I interviewed them. I interviewed him about what was going on there. So looks like some big things are ahead. I'll try to get an follow-up interview with them. And we got some interesting Ripple and XRP news here. Binance Academy, which is Binance.vision. When I talked about, like the educational aspect, we're starting to see more and more educational content here now. So this was actually published on December 12th. And they have a article here, What is Ripple? A video talking about all the respective products, XRapid, XCurrent, and so forth. So this is a great sign, guys. Great sign. I like what Binance is doing here. So they're putting out a lot of informational content, and this is what you need to educate folks. And the educational aspect, the marketing aspect, all of that's going to come together for the growth of the market. some quick listings here. CoinMetro, they have they said here comes our first good news in 2019. XRP Euro trading is now available. So continued listing of XRP with fiat pairing. Some exchanges doing the base currency thing. So big things ahead for XRP, guys. The next bull run is going to be great for XRP with all the listings and Ripple doing some great things. So I'm excited. Like I said, the big news here is this, guys. I highly recommend. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put this article directly from Circle Blog in the description of the video. Go read it. Look at what this company is doing. And like I said, this is a Goldman Sachs-backed company. They bought the Poloniex exchange last year. They've got money, and they're doing big things here. So they have even a diagram showing what they're doing with Circle Pay, Circle Invest, Circle Trade, and Poloniex. So big things, growth in institutional adoption, man. I am excited. And like I said, if I don't hear even any other positive news for the year, but obviously there's more coming, right? This would alone carry me to hold for the next 3-4 years, guys. This is how significant this news is. So share it with people who are skeptics of crypto, who are maybe losing faith in the crypto market because they're looking at just the prices and not looking what's happening behind the scenes. They don't understand the inner workings of how these deals under the table directly work. This I think will help open their eyes. So share this video, share my channel on social media. Let's get the word out about what's going on here, guys. Thumbs up if you like this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Thank you for your support, and I'll talk to you guys later.